transcribing is typing, right? I mean, it's when you think about it, it's just somebody who types very, very quickly, and they type so quickly that they don't need to stop. You can just talk at your normal pace, and the transcriptionist can keep up with you. Transcribing is basically a performance. You're listening to something, and in real time you have to make physical movements that are coordinated with what you're listening to. And very much like reading music, you have to be able to see what's on the screen as it's going past. So I consider transcribing to be very, very closely related to music. And my background professionally, my training for 20 years was as a classical musician, was as a cellist. So that dexterity and coordination is certainly something that I bring to my work. I found when I started transcribing that I was working at about 4 times the rate of my peers. And then I found, as I continued to hone my skills as a transcriptionist, that I was working at about 6 times the rate of my peers. And then I found out I had the endurance to go about 3 times the length of those 6 people. So I was working about 18 times what the average person was doing. So sometimes I find myself really engrossed in a project, and I will work incredibly long hours, literally taking my work home with me. But it's because the client has a really important deadline they want to meet, and I become interested and absorbed in the work. Yeah, so when I was a kid, everybody thought I was going to be a concert cellist or even a soloist, like up on the stage in a big funny dress. But as it turns out, when I look back, I was probably meant to be doing what I'm doing now, this transcribing. I was a total grammar nerd, writing my own novel when I was 8. It was basically like a knockoff of Huckleberry Finn, but with a female protagonist named Ruby. And I think that good writers make good transcriptionists. And I think if you look back at Mark Twain, you see that a reason that he was loved was that he was able to sort of capture the way people spoke, making a melody on the page that really just jumped off at the reader. So transcribers sometimes have that job, and they sometimes have the reverse. Sometimes they're supposed to take something and translate it into fine, refined, polished English, even if it starts out kind of rough. So you have to have a bit of a creative ear to be able to sort of guess sometimes at what people are saying. It helps if you've spoken foreign languages. So, for example, I've studied Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, and done a lot of traveling, fostering my interest in humanity. And that interest continues today, but I don't think you have to leave your home anymore to do it. And I think transcribing is a great way to be exposed to the world in that cosmopolitan way, satisfying my curiosity while I'm working.